Right, back live with you tonight, John in Focus, and thanks for staying on. Gauteng MEC, Nomantu Nkomo-Ralehoko has visited Hani Baragwanath Hospital in Soweto today. She says various issues were discussed, including allegations of a shortage of basic foods and claims of poor contract management. Nkomo-Ralehoko joins us now for more. Good to have you, MEC, and thank you very much for your time.
Good evening to you, Tabo.
So the allegation is that there is serious food shortage that is facing the Hani Baragwanath Hospital. That is to the point that it is beginning to impact on patients and the health and their well-being. Is that allegation denied? Is that allegation confirmed?
No, I don't think it's correct, Tabo, because there is a problem indeed here and then in terms of the delivery of some of the things that we wanted from the supplier. For example, chicken, that's where we had a problem. But the supplier, and then we had to have a discussion with them in terms of them delivering. And I think what COO has been doing is to communicate and make sure that where there is that gap of those that are not there, which is chicken in particular, they organize that there is some supplementary food that have proteins that the patients must have. But in the next coming 3 days, definitely, if we didn't have a session of trying to intervene and assist her in terms of changing now what is it that we should be doing so that there is enough food that is being delivered, that problem is going to be sorted out. Yeah. I was there today with a team to make sure that we correct those things. We had an assessment with them, but we've picked up that there is poor contract management in terms of making sure that when there is a problem, that problem is escalated immediately to us or to the team that must assist them to intervene. And the other issue was that we have picked up the issue of capacity from the suppliers that are working at Bara, because they are not only focusing on Bara, they've been given a huge responsibility of dealing with even with other hospitals that is at Region A, that involves other clusters that are surrounding Bara. Then the other issue that we've picked up, which is on our side that we must correct, we have a storage at Bara, but our storage is not enough to carry the capacity of some of the big orders that are supposed to be supplied in the hospital. So this is the issue that we are aware, because now we've checked what is the problem. Why some of the quantities of food, you are unable to store them if they are being kept bought, and then you can keep them for longer. That was the issue that they raised. But it doesn't stop us from correcting what nearly happened as a crisis at Bara of patients not having food. Yeah. But patients do have food even tonight. They have their supper, they have their lunch, and they have their breakfast.
So you said you were alerted of this past weekend. What was the alert? What did they say to you? They said, MEC, what is happening at Bara?
Yeah, CEO spoke to me. She said to me, MEC, we're going to have a shortage of chicken. The supplier didn't deliver. And then immediately I said they must make a follow-up to the supplier and check. Part of the issues apparently before that they raised to them was that they were not paid. But we checked, the supplier was paid on the 20th. The other supplier, because there are two of the suppliers that have been creating problems. The other supplier was paid on the 25th of April. So then that's the reason to me that she raised CEO when I was communicating with her.
Yeah. So the claim that now doctors and staff and nurses and so forth are having to scramble to make a plan about how to feed patients. And surely that just can't be about chicken.
No, it's not correct, that one, Tabo, that they have to do that. Because CEO is the person that was taking full responsibility, as the person that is managing the hospital. So definitely it can go to other people to do that. That's not their responsibility. Even when I spoke to her, she told me that they are taking money from petty cash. They are going to buy some of those things that they didn't have. In fact, it was not many. She said they are going to buy cheese, because at that time when I was talking to her, they were preparing spaghetti. So she needed cheese. And then she said, I am going to take money from petty cash to buy cheese, so that we are able to finalize the process. Then that's when I said some measures must be done so that you don't take money for petty cash to do that. And by the way, Bara has got a lot of money for petty cash. It's a lump. It's not like You and me in our offices were 1,100 rand for petty cash. Their petty cash is not just a small petty cash, but I said they must not utilize petty cash. There must be means that are done by both the office at Para, which is responsible for supply chain, and the central office.
Yeah. MEC, did you inquire about the schedule for the payment of suppliers, if they are keeping up with that, if that is in order? Are there suppliers that are outstanding at this point?
Yes, I do. In fact, I monitor that on a weekly basis. Every Monday, I meet with the team. They present to me who are the suppliers that are supposed to be paid, who are the suppliers that have not been paid. And for the past 5 months when I've been there, we've cleared most of the accruals that we're having in the department. I'm sure you know about that. The department has been having a huge amount of accruals. That has been cleared. The second issue that we've done when I arrived, I said, let's have a plan of how we are paying suppliers that are supplying us with which we have been owed big monies, amount of monies. Then there were those arrangements that were done with the suppliers, and they are being paid, all of them, and they are happy with those arrangements. That's why at some stage when I was on the interviews, I used to make a call and say, any of the suppliers that have not been paid must come up front and tell us what is it that made them not to be paid. The other issue that we've picked up at that process that we're doing of trying to clear some of these things in terms of the payment of suppliers, some of the suppliers were not qualifying. They didn't have even tax payment, tax clearance certificates. So quite a number of things that we picked up at that time, including some of them that wanted to be paid on the amounts. When you check the amount and you check the job that they've done, because we had to assess even the amounts of money that they were charging us. They were charging the department a lot of money. So we'll have to query that and do the assessment. So all those processes were done with the Treasury Department, because we were working very closely with Treasury. Hence, we were able, when we closed the books, it was clear now that we've stabilized the department when it comes to payment of suppliers. So yes, I did and I do. Yesterday it was a whole day. Every Monday we meet with the team. Part of the reports that they give me is the issue of payment of suppliers. Our books, how are we in terms of the books? And we work very closely even with the auditors that are auditing the department. We work very closely with AG. Treasury is centrally to all the processes that we are doing.
So as far as you're concerned then, MEC, there was no day where patients went without food to the point where their health was put in danger. But what you did pick up from the oversight today is contract management issues, cold storage issues, and capacity of supply. What interventions then are you putting in place to monitor the contracts? The poor contract.
What we have agreed is that we are going to start by reviewing even some of the contracts that we have, because definitely if you can have a supplier that is supposed to deliver and that supplier have been paid and now it's not delivering, definitely there is a problem. So it's that assessment now that we are going to do, but I've left it the team, even when I was leaving the hospital, that they must work with the supply chain team and ensure that all that is needed by the hospital, it's done and it's there. So everything is sorted out, because they gave me the report even at 7 o'clock, because we had our meeting at 7 o'clock with the management team, where they were briefing me that all systems go, the suppliers are going to deliver. They've communicated with the supplier to deliver. If that supplier doesn't deliver, there is a backup plan that they are going to do. But the suppliers, both of them, committed that they'll definitely deliver to the hospital.
Yeah, but I would imagine, as far as contract management is concerned, is that there should be non-performance clauses there as to what actually happens. It should not always be the case that let's have a backup plan. Yes, let's have a backup plan. But what happens to suppliers who are not performing?
Definitely, we must act on that. You are correct. It's not only about that, just you say, okay, and then you pat the person at the back. There must be some consequences, including this one that has happened. There will be consequences, definitely, because if we've paid you, in the clauses, there's something that tells us what should we do in case that the contractor is not delivering. So definitely we're going to act. Yeah. It won't be me, by the way. It will be the HOD and the team that is responsible for the finances in the department. In fact, in the meeting today, it was part of the issues that we raised. Why are you not escalating the problem if you're experiencing a problem? Because it becomes difficult for all of us to act at a later stage We need to make sure that when a person is not doing what is expected, we look into the contract. What is it that we have said in the contract? Because there is something definitely that talks to that in the contract, that you must do something when this one is not doing what we have agreed upon. Yeah.
The cold storage is an infrastructure issue probably that requires some degree of investment. Are you making any commitments there as far as that cold storage capacity?
No, that one definitely it's not anywhere. We are aware that now the capacity, we need more capacity. Then we are going to forward it to the team, infrastructure team, to deal with that and look what is it that we can urgently do. Because now what we have been doing, if there is more food that has been delivered, it will be taken to Pegimlange and other neighboring hospitals, and that's not correct. So we'll definitely make means now to ensure that there is more capacity internally at the hospital.
Yeah. And the suppliers who are over-contracted, what is the process? Are you then going to be looking for more suppliers? There's going to be a search relating to more suppliers? Are you going to be reducing the load that is on those suppliers? When are you going to do that? And when can we expect action to be taken on that?
I've asked the team to look into that because we need to reduce. If Nomantu can't perform, definitely something must be done. So there will be those things, those reductions that they will do, the discussions that they must have with the relevant suppliers, raising the concerns, of course, that we have experienced in the process. Because if you don't have capacity, there must be something that is done. In fact, I was saying earlier on, we need even to do mentoring. If a supplier or a contractor is unable to perform, what is it that we must do? In some cases, you can start before even the person can get the tender, by the way. There must be a process of assessing, and there must be mentoring that is being done. If you want to give this person, you can't give him a job that he will be unable to deliver. You look for the job that at least this person is capable of doing it. So those are the things that we must do now. We must start becoming vigilant about when we're doing this. Because at the end, it's not about us only as the department. It's about the service that we must render to those patients that are in the hospitals. So I think here we have to be much more stricter and tighter in terms of our processes that we're doing as a Department of Health.
Here's another question, MEC, that is just come up, people raising concern. Residents of Fine Town in Enedale, they're complaining that they have no access to that particular hospital, but it has been completed. It's a clinic, actually, but it has been completed. What is the challenge in opening that clinic?
We are waiting now for the municipality just to give us the certificate of compliance for us to open the clinic. And I know that they were finalizing that process because I've intervened even with the Department of Infrastructure Development, because that's our agency that has been doing the work, and the municipality. So we will definitely open the clinic because it was at the final stages. I think 2 weeks back when we were communicating with the team that is responsible for that. Definitely it will be open, Tabo. And I want to apologize to the residents because indeed it has taken so long for their clinic, although we know that that clinic was burned down by some of the residents who are not concerned about protecting the clinic that is built amongst them. But definitely now the clinic is there. It has taken a lot of time, but it has been finished. I know municipality is going to help us because I was speaking to the MMC, but now we're disturbed by this process that is happening at the municipality so that we can get that certificate of compliance. Furniture and everything has been delivered. All systems go, including the employment of some of the nurses that are supposed to do. The department, I know my department has been busy with trying to sort out those problems so that when the clinic is opened, there is enough personnel that must run the clinic. We have given ourselves time frames indeed, but we have been having some hiccups because even when I arrived, there was that process of the delays. That was that was there. And most of that was done by the municipalities because we must get those certificates before we can go and occupy the clinics. So, but we want to apologize to the residents. It's not their making that the clinic is not opened. It's one of some of our processes that we have to follow, and we can't flout that process of getting that certificate before we can open the clinic.
MEC, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on and joining us tonight. That is
Thank you so
MEC,
much
for health in the province of Gauteng, Nomantu Nkomo-Ralehoko.